Hey, boxing fans, this is LeRoy Peters with the World of Boxing according to LeRoy. Hope you all are having a good weekend. It's April 11th and it's 12:06 in the afternoon. I want to talk about last night's fight between Joe Smith Jr. and Maxim Vlasov and its undercard. Uh, it was definitely a damn good fight. Um, I had I had a draw. I agree with the scorecard with the judge that scored it a draw. But I'm happy that Joe Smith Jr. won. Maxim Vlasov, he has nothing to be ashamed of. He gave it all. He gave Joe Smith Jr. fits, but and to his credit, you know, he definitely deserves a rematch. Joe Smith Jr. I gotta give him credit. I he almost had the fight slipping away from him, but he dug deep. And what I noticed in the fight, he every time he hit Vlasov to the body, he had him in trouble. So my thing is Joe Smith Jr. needs to work on more of his technique. He needs to stop headhunting and do more body punches. If he can do that, he can he can be unstoppable. There's talk of him fighting Better Biev in a unification fight in the fall. Um, Better Biev is a dangerous fighter. He he's undefeated 16-0, but he wasn't that impressive in his last fight, and he's 36. So that's but he still has dynamite power in both hands. And Joe Smith Jr. has had his jaw broken twice. So I think that's a very risky fight. If I was Joe Smith Jr., I'd probably try to get a revenge fight with Dimitri Bivol, who beat him a couple years back. And that'd be like a win-win situation because that will also be a unification fight. But I'm not a promoter, I'm not a manager, so who knows? The undercard was also entertaining. There were a lot of most of the fights on the undercard were ended in knockout. I want to talk about the Nigerian heavyweight Fa Jagba, who probably scored the knockout one of another knockout of the year this year. When he knocked out Brian Howard in 3 rounds. I mean, it was a right hook that almost had Howard out convulsing. You could watch these fights on ESPN Plus, and if you have it, and also in the news, it's been announced that good news is that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are talking and about a site for their upcoming unification fight to unify all four heavyweight titles, and they're planning on having it in late July. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that fight. There's talk of it having in Saudi Arabia or Dubai. Either way, it's a big money maker, and the winner of that fight, in my opinion, and I'm sure in the opinions of many, should be considered the number one heavyweight in the world because they're going to unify all four heavyweight titles. They'll be the first four-belt unified undisputed heavyweight champion. Also, there's talk of Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford fighting. I love Manny Pacquiao. I'm a big fan of Terrence Crawford, but if I was a gambler man, I'm putting my money on Crawford because Pacquiao's 42 and he hasn't fought in almost 2 years, so he could end up getting seriously hurt. But Pacquiao's like Bernard Hopkins has defied age before. He's defied father time, so who knows what could happen in that fight. One of the things that I want to talk about it's kind of bothered me is a lot of these former fighters who are coming back. Oscar De La Hoya is making a comeback. Miguel Cotto, Juan Miguel Marquez, and Mike Tyson and Holyfield were supposed to fight it in an exhibition or something like that. I don't know what's with these fighters. I mean, especially De La Hoya. I mean, he's not broke. He doesn't need the money. I don't know why he at 48 he's trying to make a comeback, and he planned on making a comeback in June, if memory serves. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's gonna hurt the sport boxing. It's like I think these guys are trying to take the shine away from these young fighters who are still fighting. We're trying to make a name for themselves and make the sport better. And a lot of these guys are already legends and Hall of Famers. You know, not willing to take a back seat and stay retired. I think that's hurting the sport of boxing. So I'm definitely against De La Hoya, Miguel Cotto, and Juan Marquez. All these guys who had terrific and wonderful Hall of Fame careers. None of these guys are having money problems, so they don't need the money. I'm definitely against them trying to come back in the sport of boxing. Um, what else was I gonna say? Also, just keep again. Saul Canelo Alvarez is fighting in May. He's fighting in the unification bout against Billy Joe Saunders. I believe next couple weeks. Also in May, we got a unification fight in the junior welterweight division between Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that fight. That's going to be on ESPN. So last time the junior welterweight division had a unified undisputed top four belt was when Terrence Crawford knocked out Julius Ndongo in 2017 to unify all four junior welterweight titles. So this is history in the making. That's it. All I got to say for here. This is LeRoy Peters. Continue wearing masks. Get vaccinated, and thank you for watching. Please hit like or subscribe at the bottom, and thanks for watching. This is World of Boxing according to LeRoy, episode 10. Take care and God bless.